watching The Buck Stops Here and I'm Barkha Dutt. On the program this evening, finally, Tarun Tejpal will be appearing before the Goa police tomorrow. He's joining the probe. This after the Goa police turned down his plea for more time and announced that his arrest is imminent. That could happen as early as tomorrow. In the meantime, Shoma Chaudhary has resigned as managing editor of the organization, but still arguing that she stood firm to her feminist principles, something that almost no one is accepting. While the BJP continues to target the Congress for what it calls its mute criticism of the Tehelka rape charges, or rather the Tarun Tejpal rape charges, the BJP found itself red-faced today because of the black paint of one of its own leaders in Delhi, Vijay Jolly, who stood outside Shoma Chaudhary's residence and defaced the nameplate as well as the area outside her house. Also, the political slugfest continues unabated. Congress and the BJP sharing sharp exchanges of words, both accusing the other of doublespeak. On the program today, coming up, an exclusive interview with Arun Jaitley, who says he does not regret his comments on secular philandering and goes on to say secularism cannot be a defense in a rape trial. An exclusive interview with him coming up on The Buck Stops Here. Your phrase secular philandering, what did you mean by that?
You see, I am glad I used that word because I stand vindicated for using that word.
Because Tarun brought it up in his petition.
He brought it up. This is the first time that in a rape charge, secularism is being used as a defense.
The BJP, as we've been saying, has been sharply attacking the Congress for what it is calling the Congress's mute criticism of the Tejpal case. Manohar Parrikar even said is Tarun Tejpal a stooge of the Congress. But today, the BJP was at the receiving end of some of that criticism when one of its own leaders in Delhi was actually part of an act of hooliganism outside Shoma Chaudhary's residence. Take a look at these pictures. That's Vijay Jolly leading the protests, what he claims are peaceful, spontaneous protests. But how can protests be spontaneous when they're so well organized? After all, who carried a jar of paint to paint all over the wall outside Shoma Chaudhary's residence? Vijay Jolly continues to defend these protests, showing absolutely no contrition, but he's been criticized roundly across party lines, on social media, and by his own top leaders, Sushma Swaraj and Arun Jaitley as well. But the controversy and this latest episode is just one more illustration of the deep politicization, the deep political slugfest around the Tehelka rape charges. Let's go straight now to our discussion on The Buck Stops Here. We're joined by Vijay Jolly himself, who is of course the butt of attacks and jokes on social media all day today as he defaced the property outside Shoma Chaudhary's house and actually faces an FIR for doing so. From the BJP, we're also joined by Pinky Anand. She's a member of the party and its legal cell. From the Congress, we're joined by Shobha Ojha. She's of course a senior leader of the Congress and also the head of its Mahila Congress wing. And also from Mumbai today, we're joined by Bachi Karkaria, senior journalist and commentator. And with me in the studio is senior journalist and commentator Ashok Malik. Vijay Jolly, there is only one word, with all due respect, to say about what happened outside Shoma Chaudhary's house. It was hooliganism, it was vandalism, and it was shameful. Yet your press statement seems to say you have no regrets and you called it spontaneous. Are you not even mindful of the comments made by your own senior leaders Arun Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj, who are condemning what you did?
What all happened today, the BJP had no hand or yojana for that. It was a spontaneous outpour of anger on a subject which is seizing the nation in recent days. People who are accused of rape and molestation are roaming scot-free, are looking for possible avenues from where they can get a legal respite. The managing editor of this magazine in Delhi exerts pressure.
But the law will take care of that. Mr. Jolly, the law is there, the police is there, your own party is in power in Goa, its police force is there to take care of that. Why did you have to go there with a can of paint? You're saying it's spontaneous. Who carried the paint? Who carried that black paint that has left your party red-faced?
We were there at the spot since 9 a.m. in the morning.
So you went carrying the paint?
We never vandalized a property.
So you went carrying the paint,
We
Mr.
never,
Jolly? Did you go carrying the paint?
We never entered a property. We never threw stones at a house. We never obstructed any the normal flow of the traffic. We did not take the law and order in hand. But certainly, we did raise slogans demanding the arrest of Tarun Tejpal and Shobha Chaudhary for proving to be a solid support for the prime accused, Mr. Tejpal, in this sexual abuse
You blocked
case.
Shobha Chaudhary's car. I'm going to bring up those pictures. You blocked Shobha Chaudhary's car. You almost sat on her bonnet. You carried the paint with you. Arun Jaitley, Sushma Swaraj say you came to them with this idea and they asked you not to do this. So why did you defy your own party leadership, embarrassing them to stand up for the sexual harassment and the rape of one woman? That's the charge. You actually went and harassed another woman. Now, whatever her crime or her culpability is, the police will look at that, surely.
You see, I have immense respect for my great leaders, Mrs. Sushma Swaraj and Mr. Arun Jaitley. And at the appropriate party forum, I will go and put my case before them.
So you don't regret
Whatever
what you
the
did?
decision party will take on my matter,
Yes.
I will submit myself as a seasoned, as a disciplined soldier of the party with which I have been associated for the last 36 years.
You have no regrets for your, you have no regrets for your hooliganism.
I feel very angry.
For your hooliganism? Is this a way to protest?
It is not a question of hooliganism. It is a question of why the law enforcing authorities in the capital did not provide protection to the aggrieved women journalist family, which has been under immense pressure. Shobha Chaudhary has consistently supported Tarun Tejpal in this heinous crime. She has never expressed regret.
And we have all reported on that. We have all reported on that, but we have not gone and stood outside a house with boxes of paint.
It was a shameful incident.
Well, I completely agree that it was a shameful incident, but I do not accept, Mr. Jolly, that what you did was correct, proper, appropriate. It seems to anybody watching it like an act of vandalism. And let me ask the rest of the panel for their views. And let's go across to our panel now. Pinky Anand, as a BJP leader, do you support what Mr. Jolly did?
I think at this point of time, the matter is under consideration of the BJP leadership, and I really don't wish to make a comment, Barkha, at this point of time.
As a woman, as a lawyer, as a woman, as a lawyer, it shouldn't be so difficult to say it was wrong, you know. It shouldn't be so difficult
one
to
thing
say
that
it was
we
wrong.
must learn to respect, what we must learn to respect is to say one thing, that when issues are under consideration of an appropriate authority, whatever that might be, we must learn to respect waiting for that decision and not to be discussing it necessarily in an open forum. I think we have to leave it to the BJP leadership to decide this issue. Having said that, the situation is very clear in front of you. Vijay Jolly has clearly said that it's an act of spontaneity on his part, and he acted in this manner. This is his own individual action, and I think appropriate situation will be judged at its own level. So let us just leave it at that. At this point, it would be inappropriate for me to make any statement.